guys, you're gonna call it.
Well, yeah.
You turn that off.
No, you leave that on.
No.
Be yourself. Be yourself.
Ready.
Okay.
Wait.
Here, hold this when you talk.
That's your
Kind
microphone.
of sway a little. Oh,
Where's
yeah.
Jesse? Where's Jesse? My tequila.
Jesse.
Give me one too, actually.
You all want to?
I already had one.
Babe, lower the rate. Where's my babe?
He's wearing orange.
He's wearing orange.
Three men actually looked up when he said that.
Okay, we're gonna play a fun game of who's daddy, who's daddy, who's daddy. All right, we're ready. Everybody's here. Go here, babe.
Why is everyone recording this? Really, this is terrible.
Lower the volume.
No pressure, no
Wait for
pressure.
your dad to get back. Oh, there he is.
So I'm right here, Marty.
That's how you take off.
Jesse, lower the volume of the Sonos.
Turn it off. It's them. It's the neighbors. Go on over there. Tell them.
Either that or you're hearing voices.
I like how Wally's right here too. So I had a feeling that y'all would yell at me at some point this night. So yesterday before I went to bed, well, everyone else went to bed, I took some notes on my phone at like 2 in the morning. So I have some notes here, so I'm gonna kind of go off it a little bit. Yeah, it's perfect. It's great. Thank you, neighbors. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for coming out here. Y'all have been very special in my life. I know lots of you have traveled great distances, so I do really appreciate that. And thanks to my mom for making this event special. Like her events always are, and my dad for his margaritas. And
That's it? That's it?
And Omar
You have
for
no idea.
and Omar and Erica for getting the limeade and ice. So
And
yes,
Tia Marty.
thanks to them.
Sarah.
Your sister decorated.
For everybody.
And
Yes.
Amanda.
For the Great Wall.
And Tia Marty.
Thank you.
Tia Abby.
So I kind of wanted to mention specific groups of people kind of during the speech a little bit. One of the groups that I don't even know if they're there, to be honest, because I think they're watching SpongeBob upstairs. I wanted to address just the little cousins that I've had, including Olivia, Haley, Matthew, Josh, Sophie, and Brendan. I'm hoping me being able to get my degree and be a doctor of pharmacy inspires them to do
Absolutely.
whatever they want to do for the rest of their lives. So that was cool seeing them at my graduation, hearing Haley yell at the top of her lungs. So that's very cool that they were able to be there. I also wanted to have a special shout out because I spent a majority of my time there to all of my gym friends over here. I live there, yes. And there too, I'm sorry, they're all everywhere.
All the fit looking ones.
Yeah, all the
Everybody in shape.
So I've spent a lot of time at this gym, and ironically, that was the first gym that I went to, and I fell in love with everyone there. And Kev's been a great coach, so thanks to y'all. And y'all have experienced every single of my complaints and every one of my injuries from the last couple of years.
And I hear about him too.
And everyone hears about them. And I do complain a lot and argue a lot, but it's great. So I like that environment there. Yes, exactly. Another group of friends that I want to mention was just my McAllen friends, Justin, David, including Austin as well. I like it how we don't necessarily spend a ton of time together, I guess you would say. I know David wants me to go to the Valley every single weekend, but I never have time or I can never do that. But it's like our friendship never changes, even though we're never together, and I think that's how true friendships are. And I just appreciate y'all always finding the funny in everything, because a lot of funny things happen to me. So I wanted to mention my tata and Nana as well. I don't know where they're at. Where are they? She's probably asleep, probably. She's cold.
Where's Dada?
Dada's back there. And I wanted to also mention 2 other grandparents that weren't able to be here. We all miss them dearly. Have great memories with them, so I wanted to at least mention them.
We feel proud.
Oh my gosh, very proud of baby.
Tata, I wrote down that you're full of wisdom. Every time I talk to you, there's always something that I learn. Even though we argue at times too, quite a bit. You can sense a theme. I argue with everybody that I love. And one time that I remember recently was us all cousins taking you to Louis recently because we all love Louis. It was great. At least, hey, I love Louis. All the cousins took the tata out, and that was great. And we actually met one weird dude, actually, for Brendan and Amanda remember. That was a weird encounter, which I won't get into, but it was fun. So that's a side note. I don't know why I mentioned that. There's a lot of highways and access roads. Yeah. So that was great. Just recently going out with you and learning from you, and we all do truly love you, and we're blessed to have you here tonight. So thank you. Nana, as well. She's inside, I believe. I guess she's probably cold.
Warming up.
She's probably cold.
She's cold.
She's got 5 blankets on.
Many of y'all probably don't know, but my mom texted me the night before my graduation saying that Nana is not doing too well. She probably might not make the graduation. And I could tell she wasn't feeling too hot, so I understood. But I was a little down that she wasn't gonna be there. But to my surprise, she was able to make it. We were able to get her in a wheelchair and got
Get
her
her
back.
out of one, back in one.
Okay, stop.
I know something happened. I don't know what happened. Something happened.
We got her, we got her out, we got her in.
But I heard something happen in the middle, but it was fine. She was there.
Graduation.
She made it. That's right.
Haley broke her fall.
She won, it's fine.
Okay, that's all that matters.
That
So,
That new will.
so one thing that I do adore about her is just her relationship with our Lord and how she's prioritized that. And she's made it very, very evident to every generation since, and it's been passed on, which I think has a lot to do with her. One thing I think is great, whenever I see her, I always see her Bible, and it looks like the Bible's gone through 500 years, just all sorts of writings and tearings, but that's how a good Bible should be, So I thank her. So I was very blessed to have her there as well. And finally, I kind of wanted to mention just my mom, my dad, and my sister Amanda. For some reason, the one story that I kept on thinking of was leaving McAllen a couple years ago. That was terrible. That was bad. I remember, we had to leave that day. I remember I couldn't leave. We all couldn't leave. We were crying the entire time. I think my mom had to stay late or something. So it was just me, my dad, and Amanda. And my God, we cried to Fazburia straight. I think it was just an hour straight. We were just crying and crying, and we couldn't stop crying, and just thinking of the memories. But it was a blessing because we got here, and many y'all probably don't know, but we didn't have the house that we are in right now. So we stayed in a little condo.
That's right, Yacht Club.
Literally and figuratively, yes. I remember me and, all throughout our lives, we all had separate rooms, me and my sister, and I was 19, Amanda was like, I don't even know, maybe I was 20, 21, something. We had bunk beds. We had bunk beds. And that's when I first started going to Fieldhouse, and I was going every single day. So I came in with very, very sweaty clothes, and she got very, very upset. And she's like, the hamper smells disgusting. Just wash your clothes every single day.
I don't sweat.
Of course not.
Because you don't exert. Hey, you can't be pretty and sweat. Okay? That's true.
And we actually had to take out, it was an office, we had to take out the fan on the office because if she went onto the top bed, she could have been decapitated by the fan. So we had to take out the fan.
Yeah, he put you up there.
Yeah, she went up there. I had the bottom one for sure. So, but that was an amazing time of us getting closer, and we had Wally too, and Wally took a while to get used to it, to the new environment. But it was amazing, and I wanted to kind of just mention that a little bit. As far as Amanda, I just feel like ever since I went to undergrad that we got extremely close. We never went through a phase where we fought all the time for some reason. It was weird. We just always had a great week. Yeah, especially you two, for sure. That's a normal sibling relationship. But yeah, we're weird. We've always had an amazing relationship, and I really admire how much you work there at TBC and how you've climbed the ladder very, very fast at a very, very young age. So that's something I do admire. and I think is amazing, and I think that you are extremely talented in what you do. So I thought that was important to mention.
Take a bow, Mom.
Now come buy some stuff at my shop.
50%.
So my next person, my mom. She's we're both emotional, as you can see. I got the gene from her. Whenever I talk to people about her, I always say that she's the hardest worker that I've ever seen. She's always doing something, always. I mean, I've worked in pharmacies with robots that are less productive than her. To be honest, you know, it's amazing. And one thing that I've always appreciated is that she's always been proud of me. Whether that was me being terrible at t-ball or messing up in golf tournaments or something like that, she's always been proud. Always, you know, and it's nice to have that safety net where I'm able to do as best as I can. And I know whatever happens, she's going to be proud of me at the end of the day. And that's just amazing to have in my corner. And I love you. I thank you so much for what you do. And again, thank you so much for the party, the beautiful party here.
Almost makes labor worth it.
And then finally, my dad. The one story that I kept on thinking about was my days playing golf in high school and junior high and everything. And I remember when I really had the most fun, it was when I'd be playing golf and I'd see my dad on the side, just watching me. Because I knew he was proud of me. And it was just something we've always had together. Gus knows that. Santiago knows that. Thank you so much for coming again, for both of you. It's been amazing having y'all from McAllen as well. But just, you know, having us going out there 6:30 in the morning at Sherry before the sun was up, you know, because I wanted to play golf with you guys. It's something I did ever since I was a child, and I love that.
We're proud of you.
Thank you. And another thing about my dad, little something that I heard yesterday, which made me think. I heard Uncle Richard in his little speech say that you must have had, you know, some pressure on yourself being the son of a doctor, a family doctor. And at first I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess. But you know, I never felt it. You know, everyone's always said that, like, how much pressure do you feel? I never felt any pressure, ever. Even I tried to get into medical school many times. It was a disaster. It was tough. It was awful. Took the exam many times and failed it a lot and I didn't do as well as I wanted in school, but he was always proud of me, and I never felt that pressure to live up, I guess. Just like my mom, I've always known that they've been very proud of me, whether that's in school or golf or whatever. I know they've been very proud of me, and that's something that I've realized and I appreciate. So I thank them for raising me the way they did. Especially me being the firstborn. It felt like y'all had a lot of practice, but I was the firstborn. It's weird. It's weird to think that I was their practice session. So y'all did
Yeah, y'all did a good job.
We're still doing a job.
So I wanted to thank them, and I wanted to thank all of y'all again for stopping by. And yeah, I appreciate it. And thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Can we get my Adderall now? I mean, my